All right, Joey. So,
What?
you were supposed to tell me about the entire lore to Destiny 2? Or Destiny in general.
Okay. I
Okay.
can't. I don't remember much of Destiny 1's main story, the
Okay.
first one.
Okay.
But basically, what that was, it was kind of like an entire tutorial campaign. It was
Okay.
kind of like explaining to you what areas were what and what these enemies were and what they wanted. I can't remember if there was a big bad guy on that. I don't think there was because I don't remember it. Um, so basically, to explain all the enemies, the Fallen,
Mm-hmm.
they actually had the Traveler before we did, but the Traveler left them and came to us.
Right.
That's why they hate us. That's why they want to kill us because we took their great machine,
Mm.
or that's what they call it, the great machine. Um, the Vex are a robot alien race that live in their own pocket dimension with an entire unlimited amount of soldiers because they exist in all timelines and they
Okay.
can pull troops from any timeline to bring to this timeline.
Okay.
The Cabal is just a military force of the that want our territory to control over us.
Okay.
And the Taken are the direct soldiers of the enemy of the light, which is called the darkness.
Okay.
And the Taken are actually just corrupted versions of other enemies.
Okay.
So, like the Thrall from the Hive, there's Taken Thrall, and there's Taken Hobgoblins and Goblins, like you see in Gambit, the guys that pop up.
Ah. Oh, wait, so like those weird wispy creatures are taken?
Yes.
Okay.
And then there's one more, but I'll get to that in Destiny 2 because that's when they show up.
Okay.
Um, the only thing I really remember about Destiny 1 is the Taken King campaign, which is one of the DLCs. It's the big one because when Destiny 1 started out, each what is it? Each class only had two subclasses, and each one had two different subclasses. Like one would have Solar and Arc, another would have like Solar and Void, or Void and Arc.
Okay.
And then when Taken King came out, whatever subclass that each class was missing, they gave them.
Oh. Okay.
And the whole thing about the Taken King campaign was that the ruler of the Taken, or their current ruler, who was a prince
Right.
of the Hive uh, species, who's really high up in their hierarchy, but got taken over by the Taken, and then became their leader. And that whole campaign is about trying to stop them from destroying Earth and killing the Taken King.
Okay.
And honestly, that's kind of it for Destiny 1. Most of the lore I know is Destiny 2.
Okay.
Oh, and it's never specified if your Guardian from Destiny 2 is the same one as Destiny 1.
Really?
But there is a time skip between Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, but never specified how long.
Well, I mean, they took the intro for Destiny 1 and put it in Destiny 2, right?
Yes, they did that because they, well, yeah.
So.
Yeah, I guess now, New Guardians now would not be the Guardian from Destiny 1, but when Destiny 2 first came out, you didn't have that mission. You were already a Guardian when the game started.
Right.
You weren't a are brought back to life in the start of the game there. So when Destiny 2 first came out, the start of the game was you were flying into the tower, and you were in the control room with Cayde, Zavala, and Ikora. And all of a sudden, the comms go out, and there's a big window, and you look out in the window, it's kind of cloudy, and then lightning strikes, and you see a huge fleet of Cabal ships from a certain faction in the Cabal military called the Red Legion, who have a track record of never losing. And
Well,
so
that sounds like Cap. We're about to make him lose.
exactly.
Okay.
And what the Red Legion, they actually had a really smart idea. Not to praise them or anything, but they made a device that completely covered the Traveler, not allowing any Guardians to have access to their light.
Oh. Wouldn't that
So-
make them not be able to relive?
Exactly.
Okay.
It takes away their ability of resurrection, their special jumps, their grenades, melees, class ability, all that. And basically, first part of the mission is you're going through the tower, trying to help people and fend off from the Red Legion, and then you get onto the ship where the big bad guy Gaul is. And he's just a big Cabal who wears white armor, and once you get up to face him, they activate the device around the Traveler, and you lose your light, and your ghost falls to the ground, and he kicks you off the ship. Off the edge, you're now plummeting to Earth.
No.
You survive, barely survive, but you survive. And then I really hated this part of the mission, but it forced you to slow walk, like you're really injured, just because it took so long to get to the part where you could actually move normally. And then you're traveling to find other survivors on Earth, and there's like little jump cuts and you find weapons, and then you find Hawthorne, and she takes you to a place called the Farm, which was at the beginning of Destiny 2. You didn't have access to the tower until you completed the Red War campaign. So you only had access to the farm, but they got rid of the farm when Beyond Light came out, and that doesn't matter.
Okay.
But then you're going around, you're trying to find Cayde, Ikora, and Zavala again, because they all escaped and kind of went into hiding. Oh, but before that, actually, fucking super important part I just didn't mention.
Okay.
Right before you go do all that, there's a piece of the Traveler that's stuck in the ground. Huge piece in the EDZ. It still has remnants of the power of the light. And that's how you get your light back.
Okay.
Don't know where
And
my
then
uncle finds these
It's
things.
up to you to defeat the entire Red Legion on your own. Because Zavala, Cayde, and Ikora, and no other Guardians have their light. It's just you.
Oh. But can you do this like with a group of friends?
Yeah, you can do the campaign with your friends, yeah.
Okay, well then you and
It's just
two others.
lore-wise.
Anything special?
It's just lore-wise. It's just you.
Mhm.
And then, so you're making your way through the campaign. You're fighting commanders in the Red Legion. You're sabotaging all their stuff, and you're trying to get to their big ship and sabotage that because it's absorbing energy from our sun to shoot at our Earth to destroy it.
Hmm?
Yeah.
So like
So like a
It's
Star
Killer
Killer
base.
base.
Yeah, okay.
You're the silver, Eververse has the good.
I'm glad we agree. That's not.
Yeah.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. Actually, no. It wasn't. It was absorbing Mercury, not the sun. It didn't just fuck Mercury, I guess. It wasn't the
Okay.
sun. It was Mercury. I don't remember. It looked similar at the time. But so then once you sabotage the big ship, so they can't blow up Earth.
Mhm.
Then you make it back to the last city, where Gaul is hiding out in his ship, and you go back there for a final fight against him. But
Your light has not gone
in the
out.
boss
I don't
fight,
have to worry
or
about it. Good. Just
he kind of gets a little bit of the light's power, which makes, because that was his whole plan.
good call
Was he
with that
wanted,
one.
he was jealous that the humanity
Oh, nice choice.
had access to the light, but they didn't. Why were they not allowed to have it?
Aye. Care
So
of yourself, okay?
their whole plan was he wanted to figure out how he could control the power of the light or be given the gift of the light.
Okay.
Also, the only way to become a guardian is you have to die.
Right.
Yeah. Then be brought back by the ghost, and you lose all your memories. You don't have any memories of your previous life. That's why. That's the whole thing with Oldun Sov, where Oldun Sov's Crow, but Crow's not Oldun Sov.
Right.
Yeah. And then obviously you win that fight, but at the end of that boss fight, there's a cutscene where after you kill him, it looks like he's about to be resurrected by the light. But then the Traveler itself cracks, and then it releases this great burst of light, which gives all the Guardians back their light, and stops Gaul from doing his thing.
Oh. But if he would have reincarnated into the light, wouldn't that made him a good guy?
You think that. It was weird. Because it was like an unconventional way of him trying to get the light, I don't think he lost his memories, because when he's rising back up, about to be resurrected, he's still the same person.
Okay.
It was weird. And then he dies, it's over, and all that. And Red War campaign's done.
Oh. Well, that's pretty good.
Hello.
Yeah. Oh, and another thing is that when that Red War campaign started, is we used to have a priest kind of character who spoke for the Traveler.
Okay.
He was kind of like the guy above Zavala.
Hmm.
And Zavala's the guy who's the head of all of us. He's the main leader of everyone. And then his name's the Speaker, and he's above him. Whatever he says, Zavala does. Whatever Zavala does, we do. Besides not avenge Kate.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah. But Gaul took the Speaker captive and tried to torture him into telling him how to be one with the light and have that power.
Which he wouldn't do. Right?
No. He did explain something, but it was a convoluted way to tell him to go kill himself.
Ah. Hilarious.
Hold on, I gotta
think
look
this
that
is
up.
where
That's a
Banshee
really
used
good
to be
speech.
set up.
Hold on.
You know that number after
Okay.
his name isn't for show, right?
It's
Amanda told me he
It's
really has been rebooted
only good.
44 times. How can he remember anything at this point?
Oh shit, I found the lore bit where you were talking to me about last night where the gunsmith dude got rebooted 44 times.
Yeah.
That's spooky.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna take a break here.
I like Burger King is level 59 in the fucking... in the battle pass.
Take a look. All right. So how the conversation goes is, tell me again, speaker, what makes your guardians worthy of the light? What is the price of such power and immortality? Devotion, self-sacrifice, death. Death? Explain. Devotion inspires bravery. Bravery inspires sacrifice. Sacrifice leads to death. And then in a sarcastic tone, so feel free to kill yourself.
Oh. That's actually kind of fucking hilarious.
It was.
So feel free to go ahead and fucking kill yourself, you fucking scrub son of a bitch. Suck my fucking cock. I'm a goddamn prophet. What are you gonna tell me to do, huh? Jack shit, that's what.
Exactly. And so now the Red War's over, city's saved for now, and then after the Red War campaign, they released 2 expansions, the Osiris and the Mars expansion.
Right.
Which have nothing to do with Forsaken, Beyond Light, or Shadowkeep.
But Mars explodes.
Exactly, this is way before that.
Okay.
I think...
Man, I wish I was there to see that.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks you can't do it anymore. I really wish they didn't take it out. But it's also cool that they're actually changing the actual world of Destiny. Like, it's actually an evolving world where it's like a moving campaign where, like, if you were there from the beginning, that's really cool. From then,
came up to see the new tower.
and all that. I think the Mars one is the one that comes out first, so I'm gonna explain that one. Basically, there's this. So on Mars, which on Destiny was a icy planet,
That's not right.
on half of it was icy. The other half wasn't icy.
City lately?
Um,
Good. See what you're
so
finding.
on that one part,
Clear skies,
um,
dancing guardians.
Anna Bray, who is the other daughter of Clovis Bray,
Just gonna take a
Right.
break here.
comes to Mars, to this Clovis Bray facility.
Is it because
Um,
Mars needs moms?
Is it because Mars needs what?
Mars needs moms.
See something for you?
That's a very bad reference, I know, but...
I.
That was a pleasure
Well,
to work
Do you
on.
not know what I'm referencing?
I don't know what you're referencing.
My fucking god, am I that old? It's a Disney movie where this kid's mom gets abducted by aliens and then he, like, goes on a space journey to go get his mom back
New
from
wings?
Mars.
No way.
Where he finds out that every mother in the solar
got that
system,
working, too.
pretty much, has been kidnapped.
Huh.
This is a real thing. Is it a
It's
good thing,
not-
however? No.
Till next time, Guardian.
I bet if I looked at an image for it, I'd remember, but I'm not at the moment. I do not.
The movie is entirely mocap CGI.
Got it.
Yeah.
So, the whole point of the Mars expansion was to introduce a AI called Rasputin.
Okay.
He is the war mind. He has the power to destroy planets.
See, I thought you were gonna say he's the guy who just doesn't die a lot.
No, he's an AI who has the firepower on every planet to destroy said planet.
Ah. See, that's kind of Rasputin-y.
Yeah. Wonder why his name is Rasputin.
Did he fucking love a queen or something?
It's just loves listening to classical music.
Well, I mean, okay, yeah. The entirety of Ra Ra Rasputin essentially tells the entire story of actual Rasputin. So that's why I'm asking. Does it have any correlation, really, with any of that song?
I don't think so.
How many times has he been shot?
It's an
It's
AI.
right. So how many times have people tried to break this computer?
Probably many. Actually, there's a whole mission of trying to stop the Fallen from breaking him.
Ah. They didn't quit. They wanted us.
So basically, the whole point of that is you're trying to help, yeah, you're trying to, hold on, let me think for a minute, hold on, actually, it wasn't very memorable, hold on.
The fact that he was named Rasputin was the memorable part, and that's all that really matters, dude.
Yeah, I don't remember anything else at the moment.
Damn.
Yeah, it wasn't that memorable.
Damn.
The next one is a little more memorable because, like, we got a whole NPC out of it, besides Rasputin.
Ah.
But this guy was like an actual, like, really high up there guy. He was the Warlock Vanguard before Ikora.
Ah.
His name is Osiris.
Not Odysseus.
No.
Good.
That is just Osiris. He has prophecies of shit, of bad things that's gonna happen to Earth, and the speaker banished him from the tower because he thought it was heresy. Because everyone was following with his prophecies that no one could know is true, and not following the will of the speaker, so he got banished from the tower for heresy.
Okay.
And then he goes on and he studies the Vex, because the Vex are the ones that he has prophecies about it's gonna kill us. So that whole campaign is about, you get to see Osiris and he's alive. Actually you find his ghost, and that ghost kind of takes over your ghost for a little bit, for that whole campaign, until you find Osiris and then give the ghost back to him. It's kind of weird. It was all about going into the Infinite Forest, which is the place where the Vex create all their simulations of battles that they are trying to plan for. And he actively just stays in there studying it to get an upper hand on that. But he got lost in the Infinite Forest, and we have to go find him. That's the whole point of that campaign.
What was his name again?
Osiris.
Oh, okay. Osiris was lost in the sauce.
I would guess you could say he was lost in that Vex milk.
Yeah.
But and then that's kind of the end of that, and then we go on to Forsaken.
Okay.
And then Forsaken, how it starts is you and Kate are going to the Prison of Elders to help Petrovenge rally up the prisoners that have escaped, because Varix left and he's the warden. So what happened? So kind of like everyone gets to do whatever the fuck they want because the warden's gone.
Right.
And really great scene at the beginning of it where Cade's all excited to have Petrovenge do a thing to show you where she makes the knife float and spin in her hand, and he's like, "Ugh, I'll never be creepy. Do it again."
Okay.
And the sad thing that Yugi found a TikTok of that, and it stops right after he says "do it again," and it says he never saw it again.
Boom. Bad end.
Yeah. And then after that, Petrovenge goes inside. You and Kate are outside, and he's like, "All right, let's go to prison!" And he jumps down in a hole. And then you follow him, and you're just fighting through waves of prisoners until get to the end. And then there's a scene where Cade is trying to work a console, and his bright idea is to press all the red buttons and make them green.
Oh. Okay.
So one of the scenes is you get to see Cade rubbing his hands across all the buttons. Wonderful. And then he pulls the lever, and it almost works, and then it doesn't work. And then his next plan is to shoot it, and it works.
Extreme.
Door opens, and we get to go forward.
Alright.
And then you continue a little farther on. He's having fun in that console room because he gets control of the turrets in the prison of elders. And he decided to use manual controls so he can shoot things from the big guns.
Okay.
And they continue a little farther, and then Petroven says something about that the really bad guys in the bottom who are in cryostasis because they're so bad escaped. And so what does Cade do? That whole console room that's in the middle of the prison of elders, he gets on top of it, and it's already a little bit damaged on the top. So what does he do? Is he shoots like the couple wires that's like keeping it up there still, and rides it down to the bottom of the prison of elders.
Of course.
Of course. He gets down there. He finds the 7 barons.
Right.
And Odin Sav, and then whole great cutscene of him fighting off waves of Scorn. Scorn is the other type of enemy that we're going to talk about now. Is they're basically zombie fallen.
Oh.
Is basically what they are. One of the barons has the ability to bring back fallen that have died as Scorn.
Okay.
So, kind of like our life, but not really. If they die, they die.
Oh.
If we die, we come back. And so he's down there fighting them. And then, and when he pulls out his ghost to heal himself after he's really injured, the marksman, one of the barons, bought a special bullet from the Spider, which is one of our friends, actually, who's a black market dealer. Is a special bullet made to kill ghosts, which is how
The one
Sundancer dies.
Oh.
So Sundancer is the name of his ghost, Cade's ghost.
Okay.
So he shoots Sundancer. Cade is now injured and unable to revive himself. And so after that, Cade gets kicked through a wall. Uldren Saw follows him. They have a little bit of dialogue. Uldren Saw says any last words, and Cade's last words were, "No, yeah,
How's your sister?
yeah, how's your sister?" And then bang.
I mean, he kind of deserved that one, but not in the end. How's your sister?
The whole reason he asked that is because she died in Taken King.
Right.
Yeah,
You told me about that.
right. And then after that, you go to the tower and you tell Zavala and Ikora about Cade bringing his dead body in. There's no like cutscene of that, but it's implied. And then you have a funeral with just you, Ikora, and Zavala there around his casket. And Ikora is saying that they need to do something about this. We need to get revenge for Cade's death. And Zavala is saying, no, that's not the smart decision. We can't do that. And then the Guardian walks up and hold on, I gotta look it up. because I don't remember what he says.
It says flock you.
He's first words of dialogue you ever hear from your guardian's mouth. Was it fucking? Just give me the fucking transcript. Oh my god.
Fuck that, let's go kill this son of a bitch.
No, it's not that. I wish it was, but it wasn't. I gotta skip through this goddamn video.
Alright, does it stack? I can't tell, I don't think it does. Walkers on Dark Souls Remastered, fucking hell.
No one's gonna mind if I take a break.
Let's see. So Zavala says he doesn't want. I don't want to have to bury any more friends, which is his whole reason of saying you're not. Don't go avenge Cade. You'll die too. And then your guardian speaks up, first time ever, says you don't have to. Oldun Sav is mine. That's it. That's all he says.
Alright.
It is fucking amazing. I had no idea he spoke, and I thought that. And when I first saw that, I was great. What?
The... Nope, I lost it. Nope. R.I.P.
Well then. And then after that scene, you go to the Tangled Shore, trying to make your way into Dreg's something area where the spider is, and Petrovenge leads you to the spider. That's where you first meet him, and then you talk business with him. If you help him get some of his caches back that have been taken by some Scorn, he'll help you by telling you the locations of all the barons.
Okay.
And so you do that, he tells you the locations, and a brief description of all of them, which, if I can look up all the barons real quick.
I got into the out of bounds area for fucking Destiny's fucking safe spawn area.
So there's the Rider, the Rifleman, the Mad Bomber, the Hangman, the Trickster, the Mindbender, the Machinist, and the Fanatic. The Fanatic's the leader of them. He's the one who can make people into Scorn.
Okay.
The Rider is just a Scorn that rides a pike, a flaming pike,
Oh.
and you have to kill them, and they don't get off it. So you have to ride your own pike to fight them. And then the Mad Bomber is, as the name implies, the demolitionist, and it's not all right there in the head.
Right. Mad.
And the Hangman I don't remember because it doesn't have anything memorable about him. I think oh no, I remember now. It's just a boring normal Destiny 2 boss fight, and wasn't that great. They have the Trickster, which is there's a really funny part in that mission. I won't spoil that because that's great. But basically they work with illusions and all that. So there's hidden walls, Some heavy ammo dropped on the ground is actually explosives. It's wonderful.
Hmm.
And then the whole boss fight is most of the time they're invisible, and you have to wait till they turn on invisible to hit them, and that's kind of it. The Mindbender is a Scorn that is obsessed with the Hive and has actually gained the ability to control a certain part of the Hive. So you have to fight the Hive there.
Right.
And he has his own little throne room, which is like a pocket dimension that people high up in the Hive hierarchy only have.
Right.
His throne room was actually bigger than Oryx the Taken King's.
Okay.
Which is...
An accomplishment.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
And then the Machinist is... You know those fallen tanks you have to fight?
Yeah.
It's a giant Scorn that has that attached to their back.
Mm.
And you have to fight that. Shoots explosives everywhere. And then the final mission of the Forsaken campaign is you have to fight and kill the Fanatic. And then by the end of that mission, you fight Uldren. You don't fight Uldren Sov. What you do fight is fucking... Hold on. You fight... Wait, no. Yeah, you fight Riven, or a part of Riven, which is the last surviving Ahamkara.
Ahamkara.
Ahamkara, which are the wish-granting dragons.
Oh, right.
Another.
Actually, you didn't give me a name for them last time. You just said they were dragons.
I could have sworn I said they were Ahamkaras. Anyway, and a fun thing about that is that there's a room you can go to in the Dreaming City where you can find some bones of some Ahamkaras. 2, actually. One's name is Hugin, the other name is Munnin. So you have 2 Ahamkaras named Hugin and Munnin. It is wonderful.
Only one
Absolutely
enemy
wonderful that they named them after
let them catch
Odin's
them.
ravens.
Enemy team eliminated. Tell them to stay down.
So at the end of the Forsaken campaign, you find out that because the whole reason that Uldren Sov was doing this is because he was seeing his dead sister around, but that was actually just an illusion created by Riven to get him to do what she wanted him to do.
Right.
And by doing that, by the end of it, when you get to there, he gets eaten by Riven.
Excuse me.
Gets eaten by Riven, or swallowed by a part of Riven, and the whole boss fight is trying to kill that part of Riven. And
Tell them to
then
stay
once
down.
you kill Riven, Uldren Sov kind of pops out.
Right.
And then whole speech of
Stay the path, Guardian.
everything I
Lead
did
to victory.
for her, his sister, and so on and so forth. And then screen cuts to black, bang, he's dead. And then then there's the end of Forsaken campaign.
One
And-
opponent left. They don't stand a chance.
And then
And
Shadowkeep
there was
happens.
one.
So we get to go back to the moon, and which is wonderful. Everyone was excited because moon's haunted.
Moon's haunted. Why is the moon haunted?
Get to that. So you go to the moon. There's a certain species of hive there that are red instead of the normal color, just to kind of like the Red Legion. It's just a way to separate them as a higher class of hive than the others.
Right.
So you fight them in the Scarlet Keep. It's the main area you go to here, and then
No one left but you.
and then in this campaign is the first time you get to see a pyramid ship.
Okay.
Pyramid ship is basically the same thing as the Traveler, but for the darkness. There's more than one.
Right.
And it's underground in the moon. And then you're in this underground area, and you keep going in, and you come into this cavern, and you have to kill these enemies because there's something in there I don't remember. And then all of a sudden, one of the previous bosses from Destiny 1 that is dead comes back.
Well, like reincarnates as a good guy dead, or like...
He kind of
There was one.
it's kind of like an illusion, but it's like a really it's not an illusion per se that it's like not there. It is there.
That's all right.
It's just
Stand up.
not real,
Fight again.
Right.
but it's as strong as the
Your
original.
team leads, as expected.
Actually, it's stronger.
Yep.
And there's that. It's stronger because it has the ability to go immune.
Oh.
And multiple bosses actually were revived.
Don't stand a chance.
There was a famous fallen captain in Destiny 1 that tried to unite all the
Opponents eliminated.
fallen houses into one to overthrow humanity. We killed him before he did that.
At your fingertips.
Um,
Reach for it.
And then he got brought back in that, which is cool to see him again. And Gaul came back. So that was fun. Fight Gaul again. But
Opponents,
then
they don't stand a chance.
it's just another one of those. You continue through the story, kill enemies
Everyone is going to remember.
until
You worked
you reach the
remarkably
end
well
point
under pressure.
where you actually get to go into the pyramid ship, and you get to speak with the dark. The darkness takes over your ghost. Happens a lot, actually. Oh no, it gives me the idea of a perfect thing to put in there.
Okay.
If I could count how, if I had a nickel for every time my ghost has been taken over,
It'd be
I'd have
2
two nickels.
But it's weird that
But
it
it's
happened
weird to
twice.
have twice.
Yeah.
And so, darkness takes over your ghost, speaks to you directly.
Right.
And you get to the end of it, and then the campaign ends. I don't remember what that final boss was, but that was the big memorable thing because it was the first interaction between Guardian and the Darkness, directly. And then, an after cutscene after the campaign shows you in the Garden of Salvation, which was, which
Subtext for the Garden of Eden.
kinda. It's a Vex place. It's a raid, actually. The Garden of Salvation.
Oh.
And the darkness shows up there in a human form. That human form being you. It just copies you. You're now looking at you.
Elimination.
Shit.
If a teammate falls,
It's kind
pick
of
them up.
funky.
If an opponent
Probably
stands,
was supposed to
bring
be
them
a
down.
foreshadowing to Beyond Light, where you get the power of the darkness.
Oh.
Which is what the ice is. It's you channeling the power of darkness instead of light.
Okay.
And then that's done, and then Beyond Light happens a little later on, after a couple seasons between. I'm not going over the seasons story because, I mean, they're important. They actually really are important. But it's like, to try and remember which ones go where
One opponent left.
in between,
They don't stand a chance.
I don't remember.
Opposing team eliminated. You're a force of
Basically,
nature, Guardian.
There's a season that happened a while ago that big ship that we stopped from destroying Earth in Red War,
Mm.
a Scion from the Cabal was still on there and smashed the navigation system, and it was now plummeting into the Earth.
Oh. Goody.
And the whole point of that campaign was to try and convince Rasputin to help us. Because this is the whole reason he was created.
One opponent
We didn't feel like
They
it.
don't stand a chance.
I don't really want to help you guys. Come on, Rasputin. It'll be fun. No.
Exactly. So you have to help him do that. Or to do that. And then it was the first time they did a live event at the end of a season that I remember.
Live
Where
event.
you get a live event is normally only happens at the end of a season. It's when you can go to the tower or wherever it's happening. It's normally the tower, and whatever you've been working for towards this entire season, you get to see the conclusion of it in real time
One opponent
Oh.
at the tower.
stand a
So
chance.
kind of
And this-
like Fortnite seasons.
So kind of like what?
Fortnite seasons, they're all live.
Eliminated.
Oh, yeah, kind of like that.
Destroyed them.
So what you see, is you see the
lead is yours.
ship
Don't
get
let up.
closer and closer to Earth, and then you're sitting there and you're waiting for Rasputin's fire that's coming from Mars to get to here to destroy that, which is almost in Earth's atmosphere.
Strength in numbers, Guardian. Excellent. One opponent left.
And so it's just standing there waiting for it to hit the ship. And then once it does hit the ship, you see one explosion and a huge explosion, and it all falls down into
Put an end to
a
that, didn't you?
ravine behind the tower. It was really cool. I was there for that one. I was really happy to be there for that because I had an emote to press a red button, and I was waiting for so long to time the red button with the explosion of that ship. And I got it. I have a picture somewhere. I don't know where. It's somewhere. I have it, and I know I do.
Hopefully it's on like an old phone or something.
No, I think I actually just went and found it again and downloaded it onto this. It was wonderful. And then I haven't been around for any of the other live events. I don't. Oh yeah, there. And after that, there was the event or the season of. It's called season of something. I don't remember. But it was when we really get to see the darkness. It was a season right before Beyond Light. And when that happened, it was these pyramid ships showed up on crapload of different planets. And then at the end of that season, there was a live event that it'd show up on your screen that of the darkness closing in on Earth, consuming planets on its way in there and stuff. And that's why Mars, Mercury, Titan are gone,
They don't stand a chance.
because the darkness swallowed it up.
Only one
so
enemy
they're-
remains.
Or they were coming
Don't let them
into
catch their breath.
Earth, and then the Traveler reawakens
Enemies
because it's been
eliminated.
broken since
Your
Red
team
War, which was
stands alone.
year 1, and this was year 3.
Simply effortless.
It's been broken since then and reawoken as the darkness was closing in, which pushed the darkness back, and Earth was saved, and Nessus and some other places. And with that season was over, and then goes to Beyond Light. And the Beyond Light is you go to Europa because there's a distress signal. You've seen the cutscene, and then that first mission, because you played through that.
Right.
And then after that point, it's you're trying to kill the leader of that fallen house that talked to Varix and froze his feet. Whole point is to try and go kill her, but in the process, the stranger is trying to teach you how to use the darkness as a weapon. And so you don't get full access to stasis until you complete the Beyond Light campaign. But for certain missions, you get the brief moment of being able to mess or play with that subclass freely.
Okay.
As a little tidbit thing. And then once you do that, you continue on, you kill her right and left hands and her commanders. And then you finally get to her, and you're not allowed to use stasis in that fight, which is fine. So you kill it, you're fighting stasis with light, and you kill it. And then actually what happens is, no, you do get to use stasis. At the end of the boss fight, when you get her down to like half or like a fourth of her health, you automatically get swapped to stasis, and then you freeze her. And you can actually still go there and see her frozen body.
I think I'm on a team, but not with nothing but wraiths or wizards.
Ah, well then. And that's kind of it.
Really?
This is not. I don't know like the super in-depth lore. I know like what I've played through, and that's kind of it.
Let them focus.
It's a really summed up version of all of it, but that's it.
I guess it could be where. Wait, that's all the story?
All the story that you play through as your guardian.
Okay.
And then other lore stuff that I don't really know about, like I haven't read it. Like there's super famous battles, like what's it called?
Remind them why you're here.
Called fuck. Fuck. Oh, one of them is one of the really important events that's happened in Destiny history is the collapse, which is when
Don't let them catch them.
a majority of our guardians died on the moon.
Right.
All enemies
Then we stopped going to the moon. Didn't want to go back there because we lost a lot of people there. And it's actually a really sad story.
Moon's
I remember
haunted.
reading it.
Now it's even more haunted.
Actually, it wasn't even haunted then.
Oh, now it's haunted, huh?
Now it's haunted, yeah. It wasn't haunted in Destiny 1. It was only haunted in Destiny 2.
Because of how many people died.
Kinda.
Okay.
There's, when you go to the moon, there's red ghosts that's everywhere, and that's remnants of guardians who have died on the moon. And they're there because the darkness is there, and it's kind of projecting their essence out.
And then there was
It's kind of neat.
only one enemy remained. Don't let them catch their breath.
That's what it was.
Hear that, guy?
And then there's a huge fight
I don't either.
against,
Because
I believe, the
there's
Fallen
nothing left of them.
in a place called Twilight Gap.
Your
the-
opponent is falling
There's a
behind.
huge war.
Show them they
Oh.
can't catch up.
Shaxx, Zavala, Saladin were all there
Yeah.
to fight in that war. And a lot of Guardians died there too.
Good.
Just dead. So that's basically the gist of what I know outside of what you play through.
No one left
But there
you.
is more that you
Who
can
cares?
read
You
up
have
on.
Everything you
That I
need
haven't
to
read
win.
up on.
You're all down. That's all right. Stand up and
But
fight.
yeah, that's kind of it.
Oh.
I mean, there's
Another tie.
It's a bit shorter of a video that, or of a discussion than I thought would be, to be honest with you.
yeah.
I was gonna be like an hour and a half at minimal. You barely hit the 55-minute mark.
I mean, hey, that's still a reasonably watchable video.
Your
Yeah,
ally
I
is
mean,
the
I
only
thought
one
it would be,
left. Trust them to get this done.
yeah. The zombies lore is much more aggravating,
Mm.
let's just say. So, I'm gonna stop this recording real
You've
quick.
lost this round,
And
but victory is
make a
still
new
in
one.
reach.